he said, "Good job, good game." Yeah, that was brief. I didn't feel like talking.
You or him?
Me.
Why not?
I don't know. Left Cleveland, goes down to Cincinnati. I don't know. It's just somebody that was in our locker room asking for us to play for him and then goes to a different team. We play twice a year. Everybody can have their spin on it, but that's how I feel.
Do I wish some things didn't happen that way? Yeah, we all do. But at the same time, I understood where they were coming from and the point they were trying to make. And, hey, if I was on another team and leading another team at that time, I would have been trying to kill them too. So that's just part of it. During those times, probably some of the best coaching I did, contrary to what people think, because you're always doing anything and everything you can to find a way to win. Now whether, it happens or not, that's not up to me sometimes. But, again, I think I learned a lot being in that situation. There'll be some great things that I'll be able to pull from as I start to move forward.
All right, welcome to Overtime, everybody. I'm Tony Zarella. It has been 254 days since the Browns fired Hue Jackson. Why are we still talking about this man? Because everybody keeps talking about it. You don't keep dwelling on a bad marriage, but they do. David Njoku asked about it last week. Hue asked about it on a Charlotte radio show today. Tom Reed, I wish I didn't have to put you in this spot to start this, but did you just hear what I heard in that interview, that he did some of his best coaching of his career with the Browns?
Yeah, you're right. He has to learn to either avoid that question, although I don't know how you avoid it when you're only one of two coaches in the history of the NFL to go 0-16 and I think have the worst 2-year span in the history of the NFL. I don't know what positives came out of those years. Maybe I missed some of it. And when he talked specifically about coaching, the one thing I was thinking about the other day was, this is a guy that decided he was going to start DeShone Kizer and not have a quarterback with any veteran experience on the roster.
Right.
So you basically just threw DeShone Kizer to the Wolves and said, you know what, and I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he was thinking that he himself would be enough of a mentor to DeShone that they would be okay, and of course that didn't end up working out. It was the first year I think you can maybe say, okay, they gutted the roster, was kind of a tough thing, but by the second year, Hue was just, I can just remember Hue making excuses, just really doing everything he could to throw management under the bus, especially in the game in England. So, yeah, I don't know. I just don't think. He was 8-8 in Oakland. I would think that was some of his better coaching. Not to mention when he was an offensive coordinator in Cincinnati, he did some good coaching. I don't buy it.
Tom Reed from The Athletic, great to have you on. I want to talk about Gary Barnidge because in your tremendous piece, you ask a question and you answer it. You ask a question we've actually brought up in our sports department from time to time. Why isn't this guy in the league? What happened? He was a Pro Bowl tight end, and it all went off a cliff, and nobody could understand why. Well, you went down to Florida to find out why.
Yeah, it's I covered Gary for a couple of years. I covered Gary most of his career in Cleveland. I missed his last season. I had left, went back to covering hockey in Columbus. And so I was surprised when he did not sign on. And it's just one of those things that has kind of, in some ways, kind of bothered me for 2 years. Like, what happened to this guy? Why did he leave? And it's a very, I find him very fascinating because in some ways, in many ways, he's very childlike. He lives in a house of toys. He's this delightful Tom Hanks character in the movie Big. He just hasn't grown up. And yet at the same time, he's a guy that went through his career, who managed his money, and when the NFL tried to come and say, look, you were cut like everybody, but you're over 30 and you're going to make just above the minimum, he just said, no, I'm not doing that. A lot of guys would not have the luxury to say no. And Gary Barnidge, to his credit, very mature, very careful with his money, said, I don't need it. I can walk away from the game. And this is a guy that also, by the way, spreads the gospel of the football by traveling all over the world and exposing different countries to the game. He takes NFL players with him. So he's really a fascinating guy. But, yeah, that's basically the reason. He was like, you're insulting me with your contract offers. I just had one of the top top 7 seasons over the last 2 years for tight ends in the NFL, and you want to pay me $1.4 million? No thanks. When there's guys in this league that are making $3 million as backups, but it's for the old, they take out the blue book and say, oh, you're over 30, we can't pay you that much unless you're drunk or someone like that.
And he was making catches off his feet. I mean, he was making this, he caught everything within his grasp. I just didn't get it. I don't get why they didn't give him more money. Look, he'll be 33 in September. Could you see him ever playing again, or has that ship sailed?
No, it's gone. The thing was he wanted to play 1 or 2 more years. He understood that, after maybe 2 years, this would have been his second year had he just played. That was probably going to be enough for him, but he was shocked. He was shocked that he could not get a better offer than the one that he got. And frankly, it wasn't even close to what he was hoping for. Somewhere, again, in maybe the $3 million range, second and third and second string tight ends were making. And he just said, no, I'm not going to do it. There's very few guys that can have that discipline and the financial resolve to say, I'm walking away. And Gary did it.
Really cool guy. If Browns fans remember, when he was here, he would have these random drawings to take fans to movies, and he would show up at the movie theater and go to the movies with them. He's like a movie critic, wasn't he?
They did a lot of funny things. He did the scavenger hunts. His number was 82. He would have people that go buy 82 cents of gas and stuff like that and show it to him, and it'd put him in eligible. And then he still is quite the very charitable person. He would do a lot of things with underprivileged kids here in the area, as a lot of athletes do. Let's not say that Gary is, but that he's just a guy with a lot of interest. And I thought it was very interesting to him to say that, look, football doesn't define me. I played football, but it's not my whole life. And he was a guy that just decided he was going to walk away and get his pink bunny suit out of Christmas Story on Christmas morning, and that's Gary Barnidge.
Hey, Tom, I listen, people, check this article out in The Athletic. I want you to read this, but Tom, before you go, I want to ask you one quick question here while I have you. The Jackets, 3 key losses here in the offseason. Are they going to be okay?
Well, they're going to certainly depend on a lot of young and unproven players, guys coming into the league for the first time. Elvis Merzlikins, the goalie, who's really good in Switzerland. A young kid, Emil Brännström, the forward, who's high-scoring forward in Sweden. But there's question marks there. You don't know how these guys are going to do. They've lost some proven players. They lost, if you look at the 3 top free agents that were available in the NHL, those were the 3 right there.
I know.
Those were the 3 guys that once July 1st hit, they were the ones that were available. They were all Blue Jackets, and they all left.
I know. Tom Reed, you're awesome. I'll see you at Browns training camp. Thanks.
Yeah, I'll see you. Thanks for having me.
All right, buddy. It's going to be a minute. We're a minute away, really a couple of weeks. When we come back, we got a short break, but listen, hats off to the Indians, to Major League Baseball, to you for what was a spectacular 4 or 5 day festival. We'll talk about it soon.
Shane, congratulations. Your 3 strikeouts were amazing in that inning. I'm so proud of you that you are another Indian that won the MVP in their own hometown turf. And, I'm very proud to be part of the organization, and so you should be proud also. I'm so happy you won the MVP. Thank God you kept it in the house, huh, baby?
Sandy Alomar Jr. Not a lot of guys are all-star MVPs in their own park. Sandy was, and now Shane Bieber was. So Shane Bieber goes out last night in the 5th inning and mows him down. in order, strikes out the side. Boom, boom, boom. This is a guy who 5 years ago was a walk-on in college, okay? This is a guy who, when he was told on Friday, by the way, that you're going to the All-Star game, when he was called to Tito's office, he wasn't sure if he'd been sent down or traded. He didn't think it'd be good, and he got the news he's going to the All-Star game. Then in his home park, he goes out and he strikes out the side. Just a spectacular part of this event.
I didn't really know what to think. Kind of lost all feeling in my body, but it's it's an incredible feeling now. Now that it's kind of sinking in, just to be able to do it in front of the home crowd in my first All-Star game is definitely not something I expected, especially being added to the game 5 days ago, 4 or 5 days ago. So, like I said, just to be able to do it in front of the home crowd was extremely special to me, and they definitely helped me tonight.
He's a good pitcher. Good fastball, good mix. Talking to Tito, he's a great person too, and it was electric out there. The fans got in it, and it was fun. And I'm glad that he got the MVP. His stuff he plays at this level. He's really good. There's a reason the Indians are playing the way they're playing, and he's one of them.
Happen, baseball is crazy. Everybody thinking. A lot of players that will be there, but I'm happy for him. Happy for him, and he doing the MVP, and I'm glad.
MVP, brother. MVP, brother. That's it. He did outstanding today. He showed up. He's been doing it all season long. That's why he's an All-Star, and he did it today again. That's why he's an MVP.
I always thought he was like a 29-year-old. Just the way his composure out there and the way he handles himself, the way he pitches, especially he's real mature, and he's got a game plan, and it shows.
All right, so that was obviously the top of the fifth. He goes out, he strikes out the side. That was his body of work for the night. Then after the fifth inning, the annual Stand Up to Cancer moment for Major League Baseball. It is always a powerful moment, but this is as powerful as it gets, as Carlos Carrasco right there in the middle is surrounded by his All-Star Tribe teammates and Terry Francona, of course, and they're all on their sign standing up for Cookie Carrasco, and he says, "I stand." Wow.
It's great. It's a great memory. I'm almost cry for that. I know he's sad for him, for the teammate and the fans, but he's strong. He's strong, and I hope he'll be fine.
It's a message. It's a message to let them know we stand up for you. We're all next to you. As a team, as a family, we're all next to you, and we're right there for you. That's all that matters. We all believe in him. We all believe that he's gonna kick cancer's butt, and he'll be fine. But at the end of the day, let him know that we're here for you, brother.
Let's keep him positive, and he's fighting. We talk all the time, through text and phone calls. He's a great person, and he's going to fight through this, and he's going to be back, no problem.
So you've been texting him all along?
Absolutely. Like I said before, this is like a family that, I developed so many friendships and relationships here that are going to last a lifetime. So, as soon as I found out, I made sure I reached out and let him know if anything he needs. And, we have the utmost support for Cookie around here, and, he's a great human being. He's going to be all right.
That was a phenomenal moment. And so many, I can't think of what didn't go right with this whole event. The red carpet parade during the day yesterday, Michael Brantley, the reception for him, CC Sabathia being honored, being invited, a special invite to this game. And as he closes out a 19-year career and he has that moment and the pregame pitch and everything, it was just really... it was really spectacular. The Cleveland, we always do it right in Northeast Ohio. We always show, and we always do it right. And the manager of the National League, Dave Roberts, said it as well.
I thought the city of Cleveland did a fantastic job. The logistics, the city, the weather, the fans, as far as the parade, during the game, attentive, cheering for past and present Indians, and they were just really engaged. So Major League Baseball, the city of Cleveland got it right.
I think a lot of people were stunned by the Sunday events because everyone sells out the home run derby on Monday. We put almost 30,000 in there for a celebrity softball game. I mean, it's incredible. Hats off, Cleveland and Northeast Ohio. You know you rock. It's a phenomenal place. And once again, you did it right. All right. And by the way, the hits keep on coming this week because down at Firestone Country Club, I mean, we lost the Bridgestone. We inherit a major on the senior tour, the Senior Players Championship. More on that coming up at 10:45 on the CW43. And as always, I'll see you at 11:20 on Cleveland 19 on 19 News. Thanks.